Most service businesses waste half of their budget on Google Ads. So today, I'm going to save you 20 hours reading those 2 books, where this one is worth $300. And all of this will be put in RSAs. Responsive search ads. My name is Yaroslav. Me and my team help service businesses scale with paid advertising. So if you are one and you're looking to free up your time or want to scale, I'll leave a link in the description. But otherwise, if you're finding this video helpful for you and you'll learn something that no one has ever told you, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel because you don't want to miss on that. So let's start with what is RSA. If you know what it is and you know how it works, you can go ahead and skip to this timecode. Just imagine this, instead of writing 10 different ads for different audiences with different keywords, just copy and pasting, you could create 15 headlines once, alongside with 4 descriptions, and give it all to Google. Then someone searches the keyword that triggers your ad, and just before showing it, in a fraction of a second, Google goes through millions of possibilities in its brain and selects 3 headlines and 1 description that will fit your target audience the best. And just to prove this, I tested it myself. I was looking for a window replacement in Vancouver. Well, on my main PC, and Google knows I'm type of a person who really likes reading reviews, and I don't like to go on the landing pages. I like straight away calling businesses. And that's what we see here. We have a headline that uses rating system, and we have a call button right underneath. Everything conveniently set up for me. But on my laptop, which I never use, I use the same query, and here you go, the same company and a different ad. But now it's a little bit more simple. And that is the proof that it adjusts the headlines for the person who is looking for it. So now why should you use it at all? Why should you trust Google, but not yourself? You probably know 5 or 6 things about your target customer, right? Maybe their income, their relationship status, maybe how much money they make, but that's far from what Google knows. According to the sources, Google has more than 100,000 different pieces of information about each person that uses it. Household income, jobs, education, purchase history, search history, and it even listens to what you're speaking on your microphone every day if you have your Google opened. If you want to try this, just talk about cat pads the whole day and then see the ads of cat pads popping up on your screen. Google goes that far just to hit the right person with your ad. So now I hope you don't have any doubts of why you should trust Google. So what are we gonna do now? We're going to go over the structure of RSAs. So the first thing you can see on the top is asset generation. So this is a section that can take your website link, read through your website, and generate headlines and descriptions for your ad so that you could have a quick start off. That's basically what I'm using it for. Who knows, maybe Google will give me some good headlines. So let's go and quickly do this. I'll get my client's website, and we can click generate assets. And here I'll click generate assets too. So as you can see, it will pre-fill all the headlines and descriptions based on your website's data, and you'll have something like this. And you will see a preview. If you don't see a preview, make sure you turn off your ad blocker. So then we have a strengths banner. A lot of people, when first starting with Google Ads, they try to make it excellent, getting everything from that banner so it shows that your ad is excellent. Don't take seriously what it says. The reason for this is that even though it can say that your ad strength is poor in the beginning, once you launch some ads, your ad goes through the learning phase, it will become excellent because now it will be more optimized, even if you didn't touch anything. So now we have final URL. Here you will put your final destination of where you want your target customer to land after they click on your ad. It can be your website, it can be your funnel, whatever works best for you, but I really recommend using funnels. Now let's talk about display path. This is one of the easiest thing in Google Ads, but for some reason, a lot of people just overlook it. Imagine you're running a gutter cleaning company, right? And your link to your website looks something like this. Be honest, if somebody sent you this link, would you click on it? For me personally, it looks very scammy. Now let's look at this link. As you can see, the second option gives you a little bit more idea of where you're gonna land after you click on it. So that's exactly what display path allows us to do. It allows us to clean up our link. Note, it will not override your link, but it will just change how it looks for the person. So here's how display works. Let's say we have this link. So let's say it's your landing, which has only 1 page. I'm making ads for gutter cleaning, right? So I want this link to say something like gutter cleaning. What I will do, I'll type here gutter cleaning. And Google, look here, will override existing link, original link, with this gutter cleaning. So on the surface, user will see this, but once they click on the link, they will go in here. I hope that makes sense. So now finally we have reached headlines and descriptions. I'll give you a lot of value in this. So first of all, let's talk about both of them. There is a little trick you should always use. We know that Google is a machine learning, right? And the more information you give to machine, the more it has space to kind of learn. So here, at most, we can use 15 headlines and 4 descriptions. And what I have to tell you is that you have to use all of them, because again, you need to give Google the whole tool set that it can use to generate you money. So make sure you exhaust all of the empty spaces. So now let's talk more closely about headlines, because descriptions, that's not something I'm worried about. So the first tip is to have ad diversity. Each headline, or at least 2 of them, should have different angles. What do I mean by this? Here is a bad example. Best gutter cleaning service, professional gutter cleaning service, affordable gutter cleaning service, and so on. So in here, Google doesn't have any variety to test those ads. He will be able to find only one group of people that will like these headlines, and that's it. All of the other potential groups you can reach out to will be just cut off. You may ask me, what are the angles? How can I use different angles? So let's have a look at good examples. 97% customer satisfaction rate. Here we're aiming at social proof. Request a free gutter cleaning quote. Here is a call to action angle. Award-winning local cleaning team. Credibility angle. Protect your home from water damage. Benefit angle. Serving 7,000 happy homeowners. Trust angle. Book today and get 15% off. Promotion angle. Eco-friendly cleaning solutions. Unique angle. It's the same as you will give Google, instead of 15 headlines, you'll give Google 15 hammers. Well, this is a problem because the only thing Google can do is to hammer. It's limited. But if you give Google a whole toolbox of different tools, it can make something bigger. That's what you have to do with headlines. Now Google can use any of those terms to appeal to a different audience, opening much more opportunities for your ads than you would have it only with one angle. Tip number 2, sometimes you can show personality and your brand voice. Maybe your brand represents something unique, maybe it's playful, joyful, maybe it's serious, maybe it's royal, maybe it's premium. You sometimes can show it in your ads because people remember unusual things. So for instance, I can use my own tagline in one of the headlines, where royalty shops first. It communicates luxury and exclusiveness. Tip number 3, include call to actions to some of the headlines. For example, say 15% off your first cleaning, or book your cleaning. Just that simple, and it can be a headline. Call now for fast and reliable gutter cleaning. These headlines have immediate call to action. It's very great to use it, but don't overuse it. Remember, we need to be very diverse. Number 4, always highlight your unique selling points. For example, what sets you apart? I think every company should have something that sets them apart. In my own company, I work with at most 5 people. That's not something common you would see in other companies. For example, the client I work with has 48-hour free re-clean guarantee, where if you don't like something, you can have it re-cleaned for free in the first 48 hours. This is a great selling point. Now, the next 2 tips I'm going to show you are very, very valuable. No one else will tell them. So tip number 5, align keywords, headlines with whatever you have in your landing page. They need to be relevant to each other. It defines if you're in the first place or on the last place. So Google defines your placement by a very simple formula, and it's bid amount multiplied by ad quality, where bid amount is how much money you're willing to pay for a certain keyword, and ad quality is how relevant your landing and keywords are to each other. So if your headline says Vancouver gutter cleaning, and you go on the website and you talk about roof repairs, well, that's not relevant. So quality of your ad drops, therefore making the total score very low, putting you on the last place. But if your keyword said Vancouver gutter cleaning, your headline was talking about Vancouver gutter cleaning, you landed on your website and you talk about Vancouver gutter cleaning, your quality score becomes very high because user experience is great. They spend a lot of time and the overall placement will be high. You will be beating your competitors. So make sure your keywords and headlines reflect whatever you have on your landing page. And tip number 6, write headlines so that no one could steal it. Here is what I mean. Let's look at these headlines. The best gutter cleaning or most unique flowers. Anyone selling those services, even the people who begin that business, are able to come to you, steal it, and plug them into their own ad. And nothing will change. And they can do it. But now let's have a look at these headlines. 5,000 gutter projects done, liked by 200,000 people worldwide. Now these are unique to your business. You showed achievement, and therefore they're much harder to copy. The beginner will not be able to steal those because he cannot prove what he's saying. And there is one little additional tip. You could see here that I used numbers. That can be a one tip by itself. Always use numbers instead of words. So now let's look a little bit on more advanced features. It's dynamic keywords. If you don't know, there is a way to personalize headlines to make them dynamic. So there are 3 types of personalization we can make. We have keyword insertion. Basically, it inserts the keywords that trigger your ad. We have a countdown, insert a timer that counts to some kind of event, and we have location insertion. So it inserts the location that triggers your ad. So let's start with first one, it's keyword insertion. Let's say I search for yellow sports shoes for men. And this search query triggered a keyword in our ad group, yellow sports shoes. So that keyword will be taken from our ad group and be placed directly instead of the headline. And this is a very powerful tool because it matches your user intent, therefore increasing your click-through rate. So you can go here on the headline, and what you can do, you can enter curly brackets, and as you can see, you have 3 options. And the way we do it is that we select keyword insertion. And there is an option for default text. Basically, this is the text that will be inserted if Google cannot add a keyword. Never leave it empty, have always something in here. And you can obviously change it to be camel case, title case, as you like. The next one in our list is our countdown. So if you're running a special promotion or you are handling a special event that ends in some time, that will be a perfect option for you. So what we can do, we can open curly brackets and use countdown. And as you can see, we'll have the option to choose when it ends and when it starts counting down. Basically, let's say I want my promotion to end in September 14th, let's say, and here countdown starts. We'll just do 15 days before because it's 2 weeks from now, and I'll do 1 day extra just to make sure it works. So I'll click apply, but never leave it like this because here it will just show 2 weeks, but it will not show any additional information. If you want to say that offer ends in 2 weeks, you will have to go in here before the curly bracket and say the offer ends in, and leave it like this, because this expression here is dynamic and it will be replaced by days. So currently, if the offer popped up, it will say that the offer ends in 2 weeks. And final dynamic keyword is a location insertion. So I can show it here. It's the third option, location insertion. Basically, when someone triggers your keyword and they will add a place or location, for example, window replacement in Vancouver. So in Vancouver part will trigger this dynamic keyword and it will take it in Vancouver and put it in your headline. But we're trying to take the city, right? So I'll select the city and make sure you'll provide some default text. For example, if you're a business and you're serving Lower Mainland, that's one word for many places, I can say here Lower Mainland. But in case someone mentioned an actual city, the city option will be triggered. And that exact city, Vancouver, will be placed inside of the ad. So I'll click apply. And as you can see, we have some kind of expression again. So don't leave it as it is right now. You need to add some text. So let's say gutters in, and this dynamic keyword. Gutters in. And if the person mentioned the city, this expression will be replaced by city. If Google cannot do it, it will use the default text. It will use Lower Mainland. But there is only one disadvantage. You cannot use them in Performance Max campaigns. So another feature we can do with headlines, and it's a little bit more advanced, is that you can pin headlines. By default, Google just mixes the headlines in different orders. Let's say it can take this headline first, that headline second, that headline third. But what you can do, there is a little pin icon right here. And if you click it, you can pin that headline in some kind of position. Let's say, for example, only the first placement. So now this headline, if it's triggered, is going only to be displayed in the first place, and Google cannot use it in any other place. You can do it just to make sure that something you want to really sell will be the first thing the customer reads. Make sure you don't overuse it because Google needs as much space as it can have. But if you have something really important, using it for 1 and 2 headlines is perfectly fine. Okay, so now let's talk about descriptions. Usually what I do with descriptions, I literally ChatGPT them, and usually I add according to the best practices. There's nothing much you can say about descriptions. So now let's talk about images. You can basically upload images if you're selling some kind of visual product or you just want to show off your product, you usually add images. Even if you do gutter cleaning, you can add images there too. Sometimes it can improve your click-through rate. So then we have a business name. I'll use it as guttervac. This will be displayed as your business name on top of your link. It will actually be displayed right here. I don't know why the preview doesn't show it, but this is where it will be displayed. So make sure you have it too. So then we have a business logo. Business logo is displayed right here. That will be your favicon. Okay, now we're going to talk about sitelinks. So sitelinks are one of the most overlooked features. Your website can have different pages. Let's say reviews pages, let's say blog pages, let's say services pages, all of these kind of pages. So what sitelinks allow you to do is to create small buttons underneath your ad that will lead to those separate pages. You may ask me, why do you need it? It just adds more relevance to the person and it can improve your click-through rate. So let's say in our case, I want to add a site link. So maybe I have an order page. So I'll have order here. Order has appeared here. Now we have a final URL for the page. So it might be our guttervac.ca/order. And in here we have 2 description texts. I'll type here order gutter cleaning. So if Google thinks that showing order gutter cleaning to the person is better than just showing order, then it will show order gutter cleaning. So those are just the alternatives name for that order. And I believe this only works on computers. So when your ad is popping up on the computer, usually the golden rule that I follow, I just create Sitelinks for every page. Because again, we want to give Google as many tools as we can. Now the final piece, it's assets. These guys are very, very, very important. They give you more click-through rate. Let's see what we have. First one, we have promotions. So let's say we are running a discount promotion. So I'll do in here, I'll click on promotion. You can choose occasion. We have a Black Friday sale, selling on Canadian market. We can choose our promotion type. So maybe percent discount will give 15%. So that's how it will look like. And we can say gutter cleaning. And it will look something like this. So afterwards, we have prices. That is a very important feature. Use it. So let's have this scenario. The customer books a quote, you arrive there, you give them a quote, you give them the price, and then you hear no. What happened right now is that customer didn't know about the price and just wasted your time. So you didn't close the sale. But what prices allow you to do? They allow you to specify the prices of your service. So I will click here, I'll add price, and let's say we're going to use from. So we'll say gutter cleaning from $350. Now, what this will allow you to do as a business, it will pre-qualify that lead. And when somebody clicks on it, now they expect that they're going to pay minimum $350 for gutter cleaning. Now that is what you call qualifying the lead before it gets to you. And as a result, you'll have more chances to close that lead and more chances not to have your time wasted. Okay, afterwards we have calls. That's what I like. I like calling businesses a lot and even not going on their landing page. So I would 100% use this feature. It adds a call button under the ad and people can just press it and call you directly. It makes things quick. Always use it. The more things you'll give to Google, the better the results can be as a result of it being learning. And now call out extensions. Basically, these are the things that will be shown under your ad. Sometimes they can be shown after description and sometimes they can be shown on a separate line in here. I'll give you an example on the screen. So your aim here is to mention your unique selling points of your business. So let's say, for instance, gutter cleaning, my client's unique value is 48 free reclean. Free quote, you can also put it here. And something like this. And that gives your customer more information about your business and what you're offering. So after this, we have structured snippets. I almost never use them. You can read what they are, lead forms and apps. I've seen people doing lead forms right on the Google, but what I prefer and I usually do with my clients, I have a lead form on the landing page because I want the user to go through all the landing page and get qualified. Otherwise, if you use lead forms right after people click on your ad, they're not qualified. You'll just get garbage leads. So that's everything about RSAs, all the tips, all the tricks that we use to scale service businesses and that you can use on your own.